Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you once again for joining us on another Friday night episode of the Friday Night Panel here on Talkin Fight. We might be having a few other guests pop in and out throughout this discussion, but I think we're going to start the evening off with a little bit of history, courtesy of Christian, before Mike gets going and tells us what's going to happen this weekend.
Before Mike gets going, he doesn't shut up.
That's okay. We might need that today, Mikey, because I have not been following the cards for this week because I have been just completely wrapped up in the European Olympic qualifier, which resumed today in Paris. So I've been watching boxing matches since 7 a.m. this morning. Set the TV up at the end of the bed. There was a few good ones going on there. But again, it's still early days for this particular match. Ones to go back and watch from today, though. Watch the Mira Potkinen fight against Caroline Dubois from Great Britain, and also watch Ben Whitaker's fight against Andrei Aradeu of Romania. Those are probably the two best fights on the day today.
Nice.
That was from Ring A. But since I've been wrapped up in this whole Olympic thing as of late, sorry, I've got the dog here jumping up at me. So ever since I got into this whole Olympic thing, I've been wrapped up. I was looking for classic fights as I usually do for you guys on a Friday night. But I thought that this time we'd do a bit of a departure. We just take a quick look, since we're talking about the Olympics, and take a look at some of the boxers who have pro champs who have started off as Olympic champs. Now the list is much longer than we're going to do today because then I just take up the whole hour myself here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to focus on the first 5 fighters on my list today, and we'll do this over a course of a couple of weeks. Okay. So there is no guarantee, that amateur boxing success is going to lead to professional glory. Okay, but some of the biggest stars in the sport's history have cut their teeth at the Olympics. There's no denying that. So we're going to start off with Lennox Lewis, gold medal Seoul, 1988. So the Olympic dream did not come easy for Lewis. He was a raw 18-year-old prospect in LA in 1984 when he lost by a decision at the quarterfinal stage. Okay, so despite showing plenty of promise, Lewis opted to refine his rough edges into the game by staying in the amateur ranks with the ultimate ambition of bringing home a gold medal, which he would do 4 years later. So competing at the super heavyweight, he defeated Rick Bowe in the final at the Seoul 1988 Games in South Korea to achieve that goal. Now, Lewis competed for Canada and was even the country's flag bearer, Carl.
That's right.
before adopting the British nationality for his pro career, it must be admitted. So the heavyweight champion is regarded by many to be one of the best of his era, with famous wins over Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Vitaly Klitschko, things of that. Oh, there. Okay, there's guys are showing up here now. There we go. So moving on to our number 2 boxer on this list here, Vasily Lomachenko. Gold medal in Beijing 2008 as well as London 2012. Now, Lomachenko's amateur record of 396 wins and one defeat that was avenged twice, I might add, kind of says it all. The dancing Ukrainian ran rings around his opponents to win a World Junior Championship, European Championship, 2 World Championships, and, of course, 2 Olympic gold medals. So scores from Lomachenko's fights at the Games illustrate his dominance. A 14-11 win over Yasniel Toledo in 2012 was the narrowest margin of victory, with a total cumulative score of 120-45 over both Olympics. So despite a glittering amateur career, though, Lomachenko's entrance into the pro ranks endured something of a stuttering start. His progress was accelerated due to the pedigree he arrived with, and when he lost, and he ended up losing a split decision in his second fight against Orlando Salibo for the WBO featherweight title. From there, Lomachenko showed his class, winning his next 13 bouts in a row to claim world titles at featherweight and lightweight weight classes, respectively. Now, he was outclassed by a superb Teofimo Lopez, but does remain one of boxing's most technically gifted pugilists. Number 3 on the list. Now, these are in no particular order, guys. I should have said that at the beginning there, just so we don't see no arguments. This isn't a countdown here. So next we see Klitschko, gold medal in Atlanta, 1996. So Klitschko ruled the heavyweight division for 4,382 days, longer than anybody else. longer than anyone else in history. His exemplary
How many days is
professional
that again? Sorry, how many days?
4,382 days. He stayed at the top of the pyramid.
Wow. Okay, go on.
Yeah. Now, his career was eventually brought to an end after defeats by Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. But, the first real indicator of Klitschko's talents came way back in 1996. Dr. Steelhammer fought his way against Tongan Pea Wolfgram, who he defeated in a 10-7 in something of a one-sided bout. Now, Wolfgram was the first ever Tongan to win an Olympic medal and was able to rematch Klitschko in the pro ranks. Now, he did lose in the very first round and became one of Klitschko's many victims. So, 0-2, I guess, for the Tongans there. The powerful Ukrainian went on to be one of the most active heavyweights ever, competing in 29 title fights and hanging up his gloves after having won 64 out of 69 in total. Moving on list number 4 brings us to the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Gold medal, Barcelona, 1990. So De La Hoya arrived at the 1990 Games with plenty of expectation and pressure already on his shoulders. He had already been nicknamed the Golden Boy, having previously won the Junior Olympics.
I thought they were 92.
What's that?
I thought they were 92.
92.
It would have been 92. You're right. I type fast, man. What do you want from me? You're absolutely right. I'm just doing the math on this. Okay, yeah, all right.
Hey, and for anybody out there that thinks that Graham is not listening, you're wrong.
That's true. Every now and again, you got to slide a brown M. You got to slide the brown M&M clause in there every now and again just to see.
Yeah, man. Wow. See that? Yo, good listening, Graham. Good listening.
Okay, so either way, he shows up in Barcelona. He's already nicknamed the Golden Boy, having previously won the Junior Olympics at the 119-pound title at just 15 years of age. So there was additional motivation and emotional drive, though, it should be noted, for De La Hoya when he arrived in Barcelona. His mother had unfortunately just passed away from breast cancer. Now, prior to her passing, she had expressed. Oh, geez, I've lost the. Sorry, guys, I'm having some technical. Prior to her passing, she had expressed her wish that he would become an Olympic champion. So, he went on to do that there. I am just, unfortunately, my.
Graham, can you pass one of those through to me?
That's how this works. Yes, I can do that.
You know what? If I took down the picture and dim the lighting, it looked like we were sitting around in the same room.
Pretty close.
That is true. Sorry, guys. My prompter just across the top there just decided he was going to have a stroke on me there. So we're going to keep going quickly here, though. Again, she had expressed her will or her hopes that he would become a champion. So. And he did just that, scraping past Hong Sung-sik of South Korea in the semifinals before a more comfortable 7-2 win over Marco Rudolph in that gold medal match. Now, in the pro ranks, the American was ranked pound for pound number 1 in 1997 and 98 and won 10 world championships in 6 different weight classes over the course of his career. And finally, for today on this one, and no list is complete without him, Muhammad Ali, 1960 in Rome. So, of course, at the time, you guys will all know this, Ali went by Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., and he'd made his amateur debut 6 years before arriving at the Games as an 18-year-old, having already amassed 6 Golden Gloves titles. So Ali had, what I didn't realize actually even before I actually read this today, was that Ali actually had a severe fear of flying. I was told later I should go back and watch the movie Ali because it wasn't that bad, and this is covered in there. But he did have a severe fear of flying and had made attempts to find alternative routes to get to Rome, including, making the crossing by sea and then by trains across Europe. Now, eventually he was persuaded to fly, but he wore a parachute on his back for the entire duration of the transatlantic journey. And now Ali did go on to beat at that 1956 middleweight gold medalist Gennady Shatkov on points and came back to do the same against Zbigniew Pietraszkowski in the final. His amateur record stood at 95-5 when he turned pro. At only the age 22, he defeated Sonny Liston to become champion, and that momentum, as you guys of course know, would just snowball from there. His iconic career, the golden era of heavyweights, of course, is never going to be forgotten, but it was in Rome, where he was declared the unofficial mayor of the Olympic Village by fellow athletes, that people would realize that a star was rising. And that's your history lesson for today.
Woo! Great job, Christian. Killing it.
Good job on that pronunciation too.
I love the living history lesson. Like we're talking,
buddy.
We're talking
when we're following these these Olympic qualifiers, and it's the European qualifiers, and before that it was the Asian qualifiers. So I'm getting much better at trying to wrap my head around some of these what previously would have been thought of as unpronounceable names to myself. So it's getting easier. It's getting easier. The practice makes perfect.
You know, it is getting easier.
Right.
Oh man, guys,
Mike,
what a night we have unraveling in front of us. We have some great things going on. Let's get right into it. We got Lemieux, David Lemieux, Canadian versus David. I think it's Zig. I can't pronounce this, man. I'm not that great.
See, you got to start doing this.
Here we go.
Pronounce these names more.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Peruvian David Zigara.
There you go. It's not that bad. You're good.
Not bad. I gotta roll the R's, I guess, right? Okay. But anyways, Zigara's 34-4-0, 21 knockouts, and he's taking on Canadian David Lemieux in this wonderful wait long before hitting the ropes again. You know, we haven't seen this guy in a while. It's supposed to be a pretty good fight. He's Canadian. Let's do it up. Get behind him. Let's watch this card. There's not really much going on tonight because all the big talk is Sunday. We'll get into that in a minute.
Where's Lemieux fighting? Where's
their fight? This bout is scheduled. It's coming live from Commando, Mexico. So it's a live event tonight. Out in Mexico, man. It's Tiger Management and D&D Boxing will continue their conquest to hit the highest peaks, and they're killing it right now. It's at Holiday Inn in Mexico. So it's 6 p.m.
the NABA. That's the NABA super middle title, the vacant title.
That's right. It is
tonight too, as well.
That is correct, sir. That is correct. And we have a Canadian finally representing. We don't get to talk to them all. We don't get to talk to both of them so much, man. We don't get this, right? So it's Ben. There's
That's why I like to poke Carl about Lennox Lewis whenever I can.
I know you do. I love it. But there are three guys that we've been waiting for return to the ring. Because of the pandemic and shit. Sorry, excuse my language. Three crowd favorites, man, and one of them is our Canadian David Lemieux, who's 42-4-0 with 35 knockouts. And we have Simon Keane, who's 19-1-0 with 18 knockouts, and Eric Bezenia, who's 25-0 with 19 knockouts. I've talked about this kid before in the past. In addition, rising U.S. star Samuel Arnold III. Big pro debut anticipated. He's 1-0, and he's going to be working on his, as well as his twin brothers, Antonio Perez and Angel Perez. Remember, we went over these guys before, Graham. We talked about these twin brothers that are all doing stuff in boxing right now. Well, these guys are on this card. It's going to be great. D&D Boxing, they never cease to amaze. They always put on a pretty good show. Anytime we get to catch it, I'm still kind of looking for the broadcast right now, man. I wish I could find it. I don't really. Well, we can't because we're doing this right now. But I want to see the main fight tonight, man. I want to see our boy David Lemieux come in. Come on, he's Canada. We got to represent, right? So hopefully he comes through with that victory tonight. It's supposed to be a good card. It'll be a fan-loving card, we'll say.
We should do some research into that one, Mikey, about twins in boxing. Is there any precedent on that one?
There's the Baronitis twins. There's the Shep. There's a lot of twins, man.
In today's European qualifier, Team Great Britain's got the McCormicks.
There you go.
And Peter McCormick.
Exactly. There are.
So I'm wondering if there's a thing there.
It makes. You know what it does? It makes for
a built-in sparring partner. You got a built-in sparring partner is what you got, I guess.
You got a built-in sparring partner that knows your exact move. Hey, they're not only finishing sentence, they're finishing combos. Right? It's good. No,
Little brother holds. You see, twins, you got a sparring partner. If they're not twins, little brother holds the pads, and that's where it all goes south.
No, but you know what? Like when we did the Baronitis,
Come on, we're Canadian. Little brother always plays goalie. You always put little brother in goal. Little brother holds the pads. You know, it's one of those things.
Definitely. And then when it's his turn, the game's over. That's the way we've always done it. But Sis Lemieux card, it started. So if you guys can find it out there, go and check it out, man. It's supposed to be a really good card. We've been waiting for these guys to return to the ring. It should be good. I will definitely see and do my best to find this card, and we'll definitely let the results know, or any of the knockouts happen on Sunday for sure.
How are you calling that? How are you calling that belt though? The super middle title.
Honestly, I'm getting behind her. I'm getting behind Lemieux. I'm definitely
no. That's a different fight on same card. No, the Eric Bazinian and the Scott Sigmund. That's the vacant NABA super middleweight title.
You know what? I'm not sure how to call that one. I'm not sure.
Really?
I'm on the fence, as Carl likes to say.
Okay, and you know what? I was gonna. The reason I was pushing you on this one, Mike, is because I was gonna take a poke at you because I just knew you were gonna say you're gonna just take one leg and go, undefeated fighter, and you were gonna write Sigmund off right away because he's not undefeated. That was my thought. I thought you were gonna do that.
Listen.
Okay, no, you're maturing. You're maturing. I'll give you that.
Yes. Listen. I just put my feet up for this, right? So listen, I respect fighters that have defeats. There are many great fighters that have defeats, but I'm all about pushing the ones that don't have them yet, because you know what? They push and they fight harder to keep that record going, and I love that, man. Because lighting a fire under a guy's ass like that, man, we always see knockouts and brilliant ones, and you know what? It makes for wicked main events down the road, man. We got huge fights coming up of undefeated champions right now, and you know what? If we don't get behind the ones that are 3 and 4 fights right now, then what happens to the guys that are 20 and 30 that we want to see later on in these big, huge main events? You got to get behind these young undefeated guys, man. They're vicious. They're hungry, man. They're taking it. They're not waiting, man. They're taking that shit. That's why I like them. They ain't waiting. They take it. It's great. But yes,
back on track.
But yeah, let's get back on track. We don't have to listen to me ramble anymore. Let's actually talk the fights. So, how do you see the Lemieux fight going? You gonna get behind Canada with this, Christian?
I have to back a hometown boy at the end of the day. And that's if I was a betting man on that one. But at the end of the day, you've got two orthodox fighters. You've got there's about 4 years age difference between the two of them. They're both sitting on 4 losses, no draws.
Yeah,
and it's
pretty even.
I'm back in the hometown fighter here, but it's entirely out of patriotism, not because I feel that Lemieux has any kind of strong advantage over Zagara on this one.
You know what? It should make for a pretty even fight. Both.
But again, my research is a little slow this week because I've been stuck on this Olympic qualifier. I've been breathing all week long. So I'm a little behind on this one. You got to educate me this week, Mikey.
Well, you know what? Honestly, it's going to be good. This is definitely going to be a good card. But you know what? It's not the talked about one, man. There's not too much going on about this card because really there is a vacant title, but what does it really mean? We'll let you know who wins it, though. And we're going to get behind our boy, Lemieux, because he's Canadian, definitely. But I wanted to talk about a big fight that's happening on Saturday, not Sunday. And I don't want this one to be missed because, you know what, of the Mayweather and Logan Paul fight, it's being talked about so much that it's taking away from a really big fight tomorrow night. Okay? The really big fight tomorrow night, which is the return of Daniel Dubois.
Okay, so Mikey,
Mikey,
I was about to say, Mikey, remember I told you there's 2 fights I want you to go back and watch from the European qualifier today?
Yeah.
The first one was Mira Potkinen.
Yep.
She was fighting Caroline Dubois.
Oh, no way.
Daniel's little sister. Okay. Who wiped the floor with the Finnish veteran, I might add.
Oh, well then I'm definitely, you know what, I'll definitely have to get off after this and watch that.
Yeah, it was a great fight. It was the dirtiest fight of the entire day. It was closer to a bar room scrap than it was an Olympic boxing fight.
Yeah, I like those, man. I like those fights, baby. I like those fights.
But yeah, that was Carolyn Dubois today.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well,
let's talk Daniel Dubois.
Big brother, returning back to the ring, right? He's been out for a while now. The last time he was in, how long ago was that? After that eye injury, that devastating eye injury that Mr. Dynamite Daniel Dubois suffered against Joe Joyce, our man Joe Joyce, right? That was a KO in the 10th out of a 12-rounder, and that was for the WBC Silver Heavy, the WBO International Heavy, and the Vacant EBU, the Commonwealth, the BBC. And Daniel Dubois got KO'd by that left jab. I don't know if you guys remember that fight, but he had to take a knee due to that badly swollen left eye. And, yeah, man, he ended up with a pretty devastating eye injury off that. And we get to see him back in the ring, which is great, man. I love watching this guy get in the ring and, smash people out. It always makes for a great night. He's only 23,
yeah, that was
man.
That was November 20,
that was November, right?
November 2020. It was November 28th. I just looked that one up.
Yeah, it was. And, now we got Queensberry Promotions putting on another wonderful event. And I can't wait to – I wish it was tomorrow already.
I mean, that is the only loss on – it should be noted that is the only loss.
It is his only loss.
Record.
Yeah, he's ready to pick
up. Not that Bogdan Dino's got many more. He's only sitting on 2 losses himself, so –
yes, and you know what? This is going to make out. Dino's 34. He's from Bucharest. He's 22. 16 wins coming by knockout. He's 6 foot. He's 6'5". He's ranked number 2, and he's this guy, man. He's another KO guy.
He's ranked like 58th.
He's ranked number 2 by the WBA. Sorry, let me finish it off. I'm going by the sanctioning bodies. I'm not going by like box or anything like that.
Right.
His return to the ring is great. His losses are his only career loss in the U.S. was when he went up against the unbeaten ex-contender, I believe it was Jarrell Miller. It was his name.
Yeah, that was back in 2017.
Yeah. So you know what, Dubois, back in the ring, man. Good that he's healed up. I can't wait to see this card, man. There's some other fighters on this card that you guys might not know. They're really young. You know me, always looking after all the little guys. Pushing them. One fight on this is definitely going to be a big fight to watch. Is going to be our reality TV star Tommy Fury, who told Jake Paul that he find him in Miami and punch the crap out of him. So there he is. We're going to see Tommy Fury back in the ring, 5-0. He should come through with a great victory there. That's geared up to be a pretty nice event.
Mike, you have to have some conflicting feelings here because you have two undefeated boxers going up against each other here. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I am. You know what though? I like Tommy Fury. And I like his style of boxing. I believe Tommy Fury is going to easily come through with this victory. I like the guy. I do respect him, man. He's a heavy-handed guy. He's got heavy hands, and he's got that great, Fury style that we all know and love. And, his trainers trained it into him. It should be a really, really good fight. So that's a good fight on that card. But, yes, I don't want people to not talk about the Daniel Dubois return because that's big. That's anticipated, man. His only loss is to a guy that I love and that I get behind too, who I think is going to have big gold on his way soon, which was Joe Joyce, right? So he's coming back after that loss. Guys, man, watch that fight. Don't let this Floyd money Mayweather bullshit and Logan Paul shit get in your head, man, because honestly, it's an exhibition bout. Guess what? 2 hours ago, they found out that they get to use 10-ounce gloves.
Are there any other fights tomorrow?
You mean on the same card or just in general?
Well, I'm just curious. I haven't seen.
Yes, there is. There's another event going on in the United Kingdom. It's United Kingdom Fight Zone. Probably be able to stream it. That's Mark Leek and Thomas Essomba. There's no titles on this.
No titles.
But it is boxing to watch. Also, there's Champion Boxing Gym in Georgia. They're gonna have a fight for the vacant UBO international light title and the ABF US light title. That I'm going to try and find the stream for that. I'll definitely let you know about that, guys. And then we have there's another bout on that card for the vacant American Boxing Federation Atlantic Super title. Also, I think I found the stream for Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds, Davenport, Iowa, USA. There's another fight card going on there. I'm trying to find the stream for that. That's there's a vacant Mid-American Cruiser title up for grabs on the line, and that's Brian Houston 3-0 versus Donovan Dennis, who's 14-4 right now. And there are some guys that I've been eyeing on this. There's about 6 or 7 guys that are making debuts that I've been following. This is a good card if I can find it. If you guys know anywhere to find this card, Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds, I'm pretty sure it's getting streamed. I'm trying through all my areas to get it. Also, we got some big fights, man. Like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania's got some fights going on. Like there's fights all over the world, man. We just got to find the streams.
Yeah.
And that's
Mikey,
what I'm trying to do.
We've got Naruto Polonia here chiming in, asking about the Desmarianas versus Inui fight. Now, I don't think that one's happening until the 19th of June.
Yeah, that's not till the
19th. That's a bit far out. But, well, people are asking, Mike.
Yeah, man. You know what, honestly?
Looking for your wisdom.
I'm back in the monster, bud. I'm back in our undefeated 20-0. Naoya Inoue, the monster, right out of Japan. You know what? I'm getting behind my boy. I love watching this kid, man. I take shits bigger than that guy. And he knocks people out, man, like all day long. Guy's a monster. Like, his nickname's that. The Monster. His last win was a little controversial. You know what? F all the people that say that. Let's see what he does this time. Let's not worry about the past. The past is the past. And you know what? Even if the win was controversial, it's because somebody didn't take it up to their own self to win it. They left it in the judge's hands. Like, that. Let's see what he does next time. But Naoya Inoue, we talk about this guy all the time. Japanese, the monster, bud. That's who I'm talking about. I don't even know who the next guy is. I haven't even looked at him.
All right, that's not till the 19th anyway, though. But again, people are asking, so I thought I'd get you to touch on
that. Definitely. But,
all right, Mike, it's time. You got to do it. I know you don't want to. Mayweather.
I don't want to do it.
Can I
got to do it.
Hang on before you do.
Okay.
All right.
I want to say just one thing because I know I'll get very little chance to say anything.
No. Because then talk.
I don't like either one of these guys. Okay, I hope Logan Paul gets his fucking face smashed in, and that's the end of it. Okay, but I don't like Floyd Mayweather because he should not be 50-0. Bolloré did an excellent series on the 3 fights that technically he should have lost. Yeah. So he shouldn't have been undefeated. And therefore he should. And the only reason he went to 50-0 was to break Marciano's record of 49-0.
Yeah, and you notice how they hired Conor McGregor to do that?
No, I didn't. So my elemental enthusiast point is here. I don't really care who wins, but I do want to see Logan Paul get his face smashed.
You just hope that the building falls down is the best while the bout's happening. That's your best case scenario.
A plane crashes into the building and it blows up.
Nobody wins.
No, hey, listen. There is no winner.
They're not allowed to call a winner by knockout.
No.
I'm hoping that Floyd Mayweather knocks out Logan Paul. End of story. I don't like either one of them.
Remember, we can't announce it a winner.
I know.
So there better be a knockout. Like, honestly.
All right, Mike, go ahead.
What round are you calling it in then, Mike?
Honestly,
first round.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna go the distance. This is gonna be This is an exhibition. It's going the distance.
Floyd Mayweather's gonna kill him.
I would love to think so. Because I've said this before. The Paul brothers have no business in boxing. They're a sideshow, and that's about it. Okay. I know, Mike, you think that they bring in a new audience, but they're trying to bring like this WWE style persona into boxing, and this is not that. At the end of the day, that's my thoughts.
No, it's true. You know what? What's I hate it. I just hate it.
I said it last week. There's a difference between a boxing fan and a fan who's there for the entertainment value of the fight. right? That's
Right.
like people standing around the schoolyard fight just because they want to see someone bleed. Okay, that's not boxing. At the end of the day, this isn't boxing either. So therefore, to end this discussion, I want to see Logan Paul flat on his back. Actually, doing the double crumple would be perfect. Okay, and be part of our knockout show.
Is that knees in and then over backwards?
Well, the double crumble comes in two different variations.
Listen, no, what you're saying, Graham, what you're saying is that you want to see him win the knuckle up knockout of the week by knocking out Logan Paul.
No, I'm conflicted
Because
because
you can't really call that boxing.
exactly.
So
He doesn't
we'll
want to give him the honor of knockout of the week, Mikey. He doesn't want to give him the honor.
No.
But
So
the
we'll
only
give him
way
like
the only way the
like
fight can be decided is by a knockout. So
we'll give him the
therefore,
Lemon Award.
Cedric Bend chiming in with he's hoping for a knockout of the week. Actually,
Honestly,
on that
though,
one. So
there's another joke on that card as well, man, and it's the debut of. I can't believe we're gonna see him again. Ocho Cinco.
really,
Chad Johnson is making his fight debut. The fighter has not been announced yet on who he's facing, but yes, Chad Ocho Cinco is going to be making his debut. I'm kind of intrigued to see what's going to happen here, man. Like he's a real natural athlete. It could be really, really good. I bet you he'll do better than Nate Robinson.
That's what Nate thought.
Yeah. But Nate's also it's tall, right? But honestly, it's this Mayweather Logan Paul thing.
Ocho Cinco's never been hit without pads.
There's no judges. The referee can either allow a knockout or not.
That's not true. I'm judging.
Everybody's judging
harshly.
But yeah, you know what? It's going to be a spectacle like always. But the funny thing is that Mayweather has asked for a rematch against Conor McGregor after this fight. So that's going to be hilarious.
What, as part of Mike Tyson's LOL league?
I don't know. He wants some. Maybe don't be the
I guess
LMA.
Mayweather's starting to. No, I guess Mayweather's starting to take he's taking a page out of the Paul's book, and he's just decided he's going to fight people who aren't boxers anymore.
Well, why not?
That's now his goal, and he's going to fight people who aren't boxers now.
Well, Oscar De La Hoya wants to do the same crap.
He does want to disrupt, if you will, that perfect 50-0 record he's got. Which
you know what? Conor McGregor had to get licensed to fight him so that he could get that 50-0 record.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's all about a joke. Right? It's an exhibition. Like we're gonna see these people pay what
money is what it's about.
Oh yeah, of course it is. And
which actually brings us to what Eddie Hearn was saying the other day, and that's a pretty interesting comment too about this. He doesn't mind so long as he's not paying the fighters to fight. To be blunt, is what he's saying. You know what? This money's coming out of pay-per-view, so he doesn't give a shit whether he's got 50 fighters all around the world each week fighting. Yeah. Because the public's going to pay for it. He's not going to pay for it. Back in the old days, the promoters had to put up the money. Nowadays, he's just matching.
He's generating his own. And you know what? And Logan Paul's his team, his promotional team, Maverick, his Maverick promotional team, is co-promoting this with Money's team. So like it's just a money grab, man.
Right.
People are going to pay this money to see this event. It's going to be a sideshow. Like, come on, we're going to see Chad Ochocinco make his debut. Hopefully, it's just not as shit as the last Triller one. Honestly, man.
Right.
Maybe we'll actually see some fights instead of a goddamn concert. Like,
Right.
If I wanted to watch a rap concert, I'd go to it, man.
Okay, first off, it's the last time I want to hear you speak of Snoop Dogg.
No, I said if I'm going to watch Snoop Dogg, I'm going to go and watch Snoop Dogg so that I can roll my blood too.
Well, he was the funniest part of the commentary. We sitting there, looks like two of my uncles fighting at a barbecue. I almost fell off my couch when he said that.
Snoop Dogg needs to do what Snoop Dogg does and keep that separate
with Martha Stewart
boxing. That's all. Like there's just it's either some kind of like ABC, NBC special where you've got all these celebrities involved, to increase the value on behalf of the buying public, right? So that's exactly what the spectacle was before. It was an entertainment piece. It wasn't boxing. Whereas I think we're traditionalists in this sense, not necessarily purists, but traditionalists in the sense that if I want to see, 10 rounds of boxing, I want to see 10 rounds of boxing. If one guy happens to get knocked out, great, let's get on with the next fight. Who's up next? And I'm not into this one fight, and it's Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. They're fighting because the money's there, and I don't even know who's on the card. You know what I mean? Like that's not boxing. Like they're the only reason. Like I said last week or the week before, the only reason these entertainment people out there, and it's a huge number of people who are going to be buying this package. They're going to see the F1 car crash. They're going to see Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather, and they don't care who's on that card before that fight.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The co-main event on this card, though, I'm excited to see is Badu Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Dervin Colina for the light heavy weight division. That should be a good bout.
But okay. So this is my point. So how many people?
They hadn't announced his opponent yet.
But how many people?
Last I had read, Dan. Go ahead, Murray.
How many people who are paying for this event they're gonna sit around, they're gonna drink their beer, they're gonna smoke their dope, they're gonna wait until Logan Paul steps in the ring because they don't give a flying fuck about Badu Jack.
Yeah, no, it'll be on mute in the background as they're drinking.
Or even Jarrett Hurd's on this card as well, fighting Lewis Harris in the middleweight, and that's another big fight. And you know what? The sad thing is that these people who like Logan Paul have no idea who the hell I'm talking about right now.
That's what I'm saying.
It's it sucks. But if they do perform right, and catch that eye of that person that never knew him, could he? Has boxing grabbed that fan or hasn't it? That's the question.
Well, you know what? On our symposium show where we had Randy Nanjad on, he was talking about this specifically. The only way you're going to migrate that YouTube audience is by providing something of value, something of quality that's going to attract them that isn't attracting them, say, to the entertainment aspect alone.
Right.
So if in fact, wow, this is pretty interesting, this is pretty good, this is not only entertaining, this is taken pretty seriously, I understand it. And that goes back to a long time ago when we were talking about being able to educate these YouTube fans, because they're there to see, yes, on one hand, a good fight, but a good fight in the sense of we see hockey fights in that way as well. I want to see my guy on my team beat that other guy purely because he's on my team, period.
Lemieux.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in the fight, so long as my guy wins. So I think the Logan Paul fan club is there to see Logan Paul win because they don't know who Floyd Mayweather is.
Right.
So all Randy was saying is if Floyd Mayweather plays his cards right, shows those fans that this is what boxing is all about, okay, and he does it properly, knocks Logan Paul out properly, like a good boxer will be able to.
Fingers crossed.
He will. Therefore, it'll bring to light what was happening prior to that match, and that is another slew of excellent fights where you see traditional boxers going toe-to-toe in the sweet science performing the best. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I hope. But Randy was really careful in explaining how you migrated the Muppets from a kid's show, which is what Jim Henson didn't want it to be, to an adult show appealing to adults. So how did they do that? Over time, but very carefully, and delivering quality. And this is where Floyd Mayweather and his personality comes into play here. He's got to really play his cards properly on this one. He's got to beat Logan Paul. He's got to do it properly from a fight perspective. And afterward, he has to explain to that audience why he beat the crap out of Logan Paul.
Less so his reasons, more how he actually did it technique-wise.
Yes.
We know his reasons. Money and something about a ball cap.
Yes. Yeah. I was just going to say, because anyway, so I too get caught up in this emotionally. It's engrossing. I know the fight fans out there probably don't want to hear this kind of talk, but at the end of the day, there is a huge YouTube audience out there. They will be paying on a pay-per-view basis based on what Eddie Hearn just said, around the world, country by country, territory by territory, and they're gonna zero in on their fighters, and those fighters are gonna get paid a lot of money.
Yep.
Good for them; they deserve it. Better than what's happening right now, where
Yep.
you have 1 or 2 or 3 fights a year that really mean something, to maybe one a week, where there's actually real fights going on around the world that really mean something. And the audience is there. The YouTube audience is there, but do they know what's going on? Do they? It's like bringing someone from England over to watch American football, and they'll go, "What the heck is going on here?" They don't understand it, right? No offense to the English people. Why? I'm just saying. Like I remember when
That's okay. You should have seen me at my first cricket match.
Yes. Yeah. So when my English family would come to Canada and they'd watch an American football game, they wouldn't understand what's going on, because to them it was like, what the heck is going on? So it's the same thing when you have a YouTuber watching a real boxing match between real boxers.
What do you mean these go 12 rounds?
But Christian was mentioning earlier during the Olympic show about the bob and weave, all these various kinds of techniques, whether defensive or offensive, that are deployed to wear down the opposition and beat the opposition. Plain and simple. How many times have we talked about the body shot being so crucial to enabling a guy to get knocked out? Why?
Right.
We talked about that today again. Today we talked about the body shots and getting those body shots in early in the first round, as opposed to coming out headhunting, thinking, I'm going to get a first round stoppage. You work the body on the first round kind of thing. By the time they get to the third or fourth round, they're moving. They're feeling that. You cut the legs right out from under them, and you cut their stamina in half if you work the body right and early on.
Makes them hold their head high and their hands low. Recipe for a knockout.
There you go.
So on Sunday we have Cedric Bend just prior to the knockout show, and Cedric, I hope, will be talking eloquently as he always does, but about a number of things. But I really hope he explains to the good audience out there that we have around the world that those critical issues in migrating from the amateur to the professional levels of competitive sport, in this case, boxing. He's a conditioning coach. He knows his stuff backwards and front. The point is it's going to be a great show. I want to let our viewers know that we've got Cedric lined up for this Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then followed by Mike's show on this fantastic, I'm singularizing it, this single knockout that I'm looking forward to. I can't contain myself.
So if you don't see anything else, you're just seeing that one knockout, right? And you know why you'll see it? Because I'll send it to you as soon as it happens.
Well, you know what? It will actually replace the value of not being able to see the Leafs win the Stanley Cup this year.
You get to see them win the Toronto foursome though over at Dantonia.
Anyone who takes the cup this year, whoever gets the cup, like any other sport, there's going to be just a big old asterisk next to that win in the record books anyway. So,
yeah, the asterisk being the Maple Leafs lost.
Yeah.
So, the team
usually you put an asterisk for things that are out of the ordinary.
Yes, the
Maple Leafs lost.
I want to touch on 2 more fights on the Mayweather card because I want to touch on a couple more things actually.
Right.
I want everybody out there to know that, listen, this is not a professional sanctioned boxing match. It is a sanctioned card underneath it, but this is not a sanctioned fight. This is an exhibition fight where there will be no winner announced at the end. There are no judges scoring this.
Yep.
We're just told they're wearing 10-ounce gloves. And it's up to the ref if he's going to allow a knockout to happen or not. So I want you to know that. But that being said, this card at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, is a Florida State Boxing Commission event. The promoter, Mayweather Promotions, yes, matchmaker, Kenny Craig, Jeff Hurd, 24-1. Luis Arias is on this card. Badu Jaka is on this card against Colina. 2 guys I want to talk about that I've mentioned in the past. Jean Carlos Torres 18-0 super lightweight. This guy, you gotta watch this kid fight, man. He's a great fighter. I talked about this kid months ago. Watch this kid fight, man. He's trying to stay undefeated. He's taking on Zach Khan, who's 10-7-1. Prior to that fight, Adrian Benton, I've talked about, who's 4-0, will be fighting Pedro Angel Cruz, who I've also debuted. And both these guys are undefeated. It's going to make up for a great undercard, man. There are some good fighters on this card. Plus 3 guys are making their debut. So just remember, even though the main event is not a real match, everything underneath is real, and these guys are real fighters. Don't let this sideshow bullshit fool you. Logan Paul's friggin' license is being talked about right now around the boxing community. Canelo has called it bullshit. The entire boxing community has called it to come forward. It's a bogus license. Okay, he's not a pro. This is a sideshow event. That's why it's not affecting Mayweather's card. It's not affecting Paul's card. This is a joke. Everything underneath that is true fighting, true boxers. Please watch that shit. That's the stuff we're talking about. That's the stuff we like to talk about. Don't let the sideshow fool you, man. That being said, Mayweather has offered his services to Jake Paul's next opponent to fight.
The train?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Mayweather wants to train Jake Paul's competition.
Wow.
That's fun.
Yeah. So this is good. It's going to be an interesting little sideshow. Remember, though,
all because of a hat.
Got your hat. Yeah. So that got your hat has got some free training lessons. It's going to be great, man.
And if the hat didn't do it, the commemorative tattoo might have.
Oh my god! You know what? That was goddamn hilarious. Actually,
You did. You got your hat tattooed like right now.
Honestly, I you know what? That was the first time I've ever seen, like really ever seen Mayweather like lose his effing cool. You know what I mean? Like he was pissed. Go back and watch that shit. That was hilarious.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I recall.
Right? Yeah. But honestly, Floyd Mayweather Jr. literally called up Tyron Woodley and said, "Hey man, I want to train you so you can smack the shit out of him." Like yes, and this is just news, right? So this is going to be great. Jake Paul.
Well, because that one's not going to be an exhibition. That one won't be exhibition. Correct?
Who knows what it'll be? But okay. you know that Jake Paul signed a multi-fight deal with the promoter. What is it, Showbox? So he's on a multi-fight deal. He wants an automatic rematch clause. So he's already trying to pull this shit because he's already gonna get his. Tyron Woodley's no joke, man. Like he's a big dude and he's mean and he's sure he's MMA, but. He called on Jake Paul and said, "Hey, man, let's do it in the MMA ring." And Jake Paul was like, "No, I'm going to do it in the boxing ring." And now Floyd Mayweather's like, "Hey, Tyron, let me do you a favor, bud. Let me show you a couple of tricks and then knock his head off." So this is going to be good, guys. You got to watch this shit. This is going to blow up over social media like crazy. This is going to be the huge talked about thing for the next couple of months. Here we go. Let the circus unfold.
All right.
Oh, man, there's so many things going on in boxing today, guys. The headlines have been crazy. But remember, guys, don't let this Mayweather shit overshadow the return of Daniel Dubois in the ring. Please, guys, remember, that fight is tomorrow. Don't miss it. That one's tomorrow. Don't miss that.
That's don't go looking for it on Sunday going, I'm not going to be distracted by Mayweather. Where's Dubois? It's already happening.
No, just don't miss it because you're waiting for this Mayweather circus show. Okay? Make sure
and in the meantime, check out Carolyn Dubois on the Olympics.com. The rings A and B are running live for the next 3 days. Nice. And that's going to be all the European Olympic qualifiers. And you can check out Carolyn Dubois moving forward in that tournament.
Yep. Nice. Yep. All right, guys. That being said, I got to go and find this fight card around. We got to find it, man. There's a fight tonight. I'm going to find it. Once I find it, guys, I'll send you the link. I'm going to use my connections throughout the world. and see what I can find. And I'm going to get back to you. So in that meantime, I guess, good night. Everybody, see you later.
Yeah, man.
Take us out, Mikey.
Jab that like, hook, subscribe, knock us out those comments.
That's it.
All right.
See you guys next week.
See you in a
man,
couple
for sure.
days.